What's up, everybody? The No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I'm going to wait a little bit for you guys on the replay for some people to come in this live. Hopefully they come in this live. Oh, Slime Pack. Yeah, I got something to say to you. Somebody sent me a screenshot of you giving Roadrunner Naya like $49 or some shit. Come on, hook us broke people up. You know what I'm saying? I'm messing around. I'm messing with you. Don't do that shit. But yeah, somebody did send that. What's up, Gene? I'm out here in Corbin, Kentucky. I'm delivering at London, Kentucky tomorrow. So I'm like, how many miles? I'm like 16 miles away. What's going on, Tim Travels? I'm not talking about myself in the video title, but I think it's a good learning lesson. What's up, Leah? It's always good seeing women out there getting their grind on. You know, I was just talking to somebody, and I was basically saying just the fact that I'm a male, like if somebody or a male, how much money would they take for me? Like, what do I think the cost is of being a female and just inconvenience out here? And I was like, $300 a month. I mean, literally. So I do admit that it is a lot harder to be a female out here trucking. I hear you, Slime Pack. Gotta stay good with the sisterhood. Speaking of which, before I get into my topic, Slime Pack, there's too many of these YouTube truckers out here, and I'm not counting you. You're very careful, but there's a guy that works for Swift. That motherfucker just got fired, and I sent him a message saying, you know, a comment. I've seen people at Swift get fired for less. And he's out there. I mean, listen. People want to say I'm documenting my journey or whatever bullshit they want to say. But when you're out there making videos of you, like, spending more time setting up your camera to back into a dock, which takes you 40 minutes to back in one video, or you're putting trailers in a ditch, you know, not flipped over, but you have to get towed out, and just driving down the road without your trailer doors latched and stuff. I mean, at some point, common sense has to be like, you know what, maybe this isn't something that I put in the video. But he got fired, I guess, because he was like holding the phone, or I forget what it was, something along those lines. But he's so fucking dumb about it. He's like, okay, well, if I go somewhere else, I'm gonna have to do my content. You know, he's young. He's like 22 years old or something. And it's just like, if that's what you're gonna base your life on, and I don't know, it just didn't make no sense to me. What's up, Maria Ivanova? I don't know if I said that right or not. What's up, Little Khan? Love from India. Boy, I'm gonna tell you what, I've never been to India, but I have been in some of those countries out that way, and boy, them guys out there, they'll drive on anything, boy. Those guys, well, I guess that wouldn't be the India area, but I was like in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Iraq. Those guys driving them trucks are fearless. Slime Pack, you saw them videos? That dude is dumb. I mean, he's so dumb it actually made me mad. All right, Tim Travels, when I think of all the women I know in trucking and what they have to put up with, I think they're more successful as a group than men. You know, I don't know if they're more successful than men. I think they're a lot more thoughtful than men. And I think a lot of the difference between a lot of women drivers and a lot of men drivers, I'm not including me in that, but I think a lot of women drivers don't look like, a lot of men drivers are thinking about the driving. Like, I'm a truck driver, I'm a drive. You know, that's their whole focus. And women is a little bit more nuanced and shit like that. They're thinking about the intricacies. I would say somewhat like myself, but it's not about how good you drive and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I do think that women are good from that. What's up, Captain? Ash Trevino. I got to look him up. Mixed content. What's up? Mostly planes. You belong to a smiler. All right. Free Palestine. Okay. G80 Sean. If you look up, if you just type in Swift Transportation and then his channel name, I don't know why it's this, but it's fish, like a fish, like you're going fishing, but it's fish. Just look at any of his videos. Like 50% of his videos, he was out there wilding out, like doing all kinds of crazy shit. And listen, when you're brand new, like there's nothing wrong with doing, well, first, content should not be your first fucking thing. But when you're first out here brand new, you should not be out there, okay, I'm gonna back into a spot that I really can't back into, but let me set up this camera first, you know, so I can, like, you could show me, because he doesn't have all the shit like Slime Pack, the backup cameras and, you know, all that stuff. He's out there setting up a camera, then going to back in, then it's taking him 40 minutes to back in. It's crazy. All right, Jason. All right. I think he thinks I need to get the fuck out of this country. Okay. Yeah, there you go, Slime Pack. Type in I got fired Swift, and then if you put fish, that'll bring up his, but I don't get it, man. And the rap is horrible. I mean, listen, I'm old school. You know, I'm not about this new hip-hop shit. That fucking music is horrible. I can't even deal with it right there. I'd rather listen to country. Actually, there was some country I used to jam with, Dwight Yoakam back in the day, but, you know, not like I'm rocking it now, but I'd take any of that before that rap shit. All right, mostly planes. Have I been to Ireland? I was in Ireland for about 4 hours back in the days, probably 1990, August-ish. We stopped over in Ireland when I was on my way to that first Gulf War. So I just remember it being green as fuck. It was like greenery. That's what I remember about Ireland. If somebody's like, and I didn't leave the airport, but I mean, just flying in, it was like fucking green. That's what I remember about Ireland. India is beautiful. All right, I've never been there. Slime Pack is reiterating his channel name is Fish. Go watch them videos. That motherfucker will video anything, any dumb shit he does. Now, I've done some dumb shit, right? The first thing I'm not gonna do is be out there putting it on video. Leah saw the video. All right, G80 Sean knows of them. Can you please discuss Bell's inequity in the... Listen, Sami, can you please discuss Bell's inequity theorem from 2022 paper of quantum mechanics and how it contradicts Einstein's interpretation? Listen, I'm very interested in that stuff. I watch everything I can about time and space, Einstein, you know, Michio Kaku, fucking, fuck, who's the guy? There's only one guy I'd be starstruck by if I ever met him. Fuck, what's his name? The black dude. Anyway, all that stuff I'm interested in, but I don't know anything about all that. But one thing I did watch today, because I did listen to something earlier today about Isaac Newton, and what they were saying about Isaac Newton and Einstein was that a lot of the stuff that they said wasn't necessarily correct, but that was the stepping stone to get to, like, without them doing what they did, we would have never got into the modern era of physics and all that kind of stuff. Damn, this one. All right, let's see. Country, you know what? Yeah, I can't do it. I mean, I can do some of it, but it had to be more. It can't be this newer country shit that's kind of like rock and roll and country or any of that Beyonce bullshit. It'd have to be like real, like it got to be the country that's like as deep as fucking some of them old school rap songs, like where they get deep in the shit, not just what's that little bullshit song Beyonce has? I forget the little jingle on that shit. I hate that shit. But that, any of that, Taylor Swift, all that, fuck, like, I kind of take, if I was to take my country, I'd take it like my hip hop, you know, grimy and down in the dirt. You know what I mean? Hey, brother, come to my country, man. There's probably not going to be a time I'm going to be doing that one. Neil deGrasse Tyson, there you go. That's my man right there. If there was somebody, if there was like maybe one person you would say that I'd be starstruck to see, it would be him right there. All right, I seen you. All right, let's see. All right, Deez, I don't know why your comments are getting erased either. I'm going to try to catch up on these, then I'm going to get back into my topic. Waylon Jennings, yeah. See, a lot of that older stuff, see, because back in the day, the problem was there was some music overload at some point. But back in like the 70s and like early 80s and stuff like that, man, this niacin's kicking in, boy. Let me tell you. I wouldn't say I go out of my way to listen to it, but I would listen to it, or I wouldn't be offended by it. And then, actually, back in the days in the 90s, when people used to call at your house, if you had a answer machine, you always used to play some shit, you know, before it was like whatever. And I just remember Dwight Yoakam was on my answer machine playing that Guitars and Cadillacs. Anyway. But I'm no country expert. I just remember when I think that I saw the downfall in the type of country music that I would appreciate happened like in the early 90s when Garth Brooks and all that shit was coming out, and it kind of got a little bit more mainstream. It seems like any music genre gets watered down when it becomes mainstream. So anyway, and there's a lot of country people I like, not because of their music, but just because of who they are. Dolly Parton, Reba McEntire, you know, shit like that. Anyway, Sherry, or I don't know how to pronounce that, 2. I'm a lease driver, just had a DOT annual inspection sticker. Do you know if driver pay for it or Prime? If you're a lease driver, you pay for it. If your company, Prime pays for it. As a matter of fact, I'm headed to the terminal pretty soon because I need to get a DOT inspection, and I need to get some new tires, man. So I don't know if I'm going to get all new tires. I'm going to at least get 2 new steers. I might see if I can fuck with these drives until deeper into winter, because I'd rather be in winter with brand new drives if I can. David Murphy, don't know him. Like I said, I'm no expert in country music. All right, so anyway. So I just did a video a while back talking about failures that I had. And fuck, there's probably another failure. I think I got stuck on the one failure in the video, but there's more than that one. But I was talking to somebody, and he's having problems right now because of his truck and everything like that. And, you know, I kind of felt like when we were talking, he was like, man, I might have to turn the truck in or do whatever. I was like, listen, man, there's nothing wrong with failing. It's too many people out here in the trucking industry fail with nothing to gain out of the failure. And that's stupidity. Actually, failure is probably one of the best lessons to learn in life. You know? if you fail and you learn from your failure, like for example, in this particular person's instance, maybe he just didn't have enough money set aside in an emergency fund. All right, boom. All right, I just can't keep eating these negative checks. I can't keep, whatever, whether it's leaving Prime or going somewhere else or staying in Prime. Sometimes you got to step back, change it up, look at a different direction, and kind of learn from your failure. I'm never going to look down on somebody because they failed. Now, if you keep failing over and over and over, now I don't have a problem with it because it's not me, but then I start questioning what's the real purpose or what's the real reason. Is it you? Or because so anyway, hopefully he's watching this video. We had a long conversation about this. All right, let's see. Alex, what the fuck? Logan, name a car for an edit. I don't know what you mean by that. Hirschbach has a few of those next gen Freightliners. I was just talking to a Hirschbach driver, and here you go. Sometimes it's not the company, because I know guys at Hirschbach that are doing very well. You know what I mean? But he was asking me questions about Prime and stuff like that, and there are things that I believe in that work with that work within my wheelhouse that makes Prime a better choice than Hirschbach. But that's not everybody. I think Hirschbach is great if you don't have a bunch of money set aside. If your truck goes down, they got that little maintenance fund everybody pays into. That can help you out. So I think that's a great thing about Hirschbach. I think they brainwash some of these people in this 99-cent fuel. Man, listen, if you ain't getting no fuel surcharge, I mean, if you calculate in the fuel surcharge at Prime, you're paying 99 cents in fuel. And as a matter of fact, we got a lot of fucking false prophets and fake coaches out there putting a bunch of dumb information out there that should know better. And that's part of the problem right there. Oh, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. I just seen your truck at the Denver drop yard a few weeks ago. Yeah, I just came out. I came out on the 26th. So, it was definitely up there. But, hey, I was parked up at this Love's a little bit earlier. First of all, I wanted to get fuel, and this fucking Swift driver was dicking around on the fuel island. And I was like, I want to get a spot. I mean, I know there's going to be spots, but I want to get a spot where I don't get blocked in here in the morning. And there's plenty of spots where it looks like you can get blocked in, but boom. Take a look at where I moved to. I took my shower, then I used personal conveyance to get to this spot, but boom. Man, ain't no way I'm getting blocked in here. I got all that room up there. You know what I mean? So I decided not to get fuel, backed out of the fuel island, came over here and parked. So I deliver at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow. Taking this Hershey load, it's not the greatest load, but I had to get to Springfield. So sometimes when you got somewhere you got to go, you got to take what it is. Plus, hey, anytime I'm up near Pennsylvania, Maryland, New York, all that shit, anything that just gets me out of the Northeast, I'll damn near pay to get out of that shit. What's up with air cuff locks? Prime asked for it. You know what? I got an air cuff. Shit, I thought I had an air cuff lock over here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got an air cuff lock. If I'm in... Listen, I'm not going to self-snitch on myself. I'm just going to say I got an air cuff lock. You know, so... I think they're a nice little anti-theft device, you know what I mean? Your daily final guide. Islamic, I'm badly sick, get better. Warms my heart to see Americans up, making a living, paying taxes. I don't have to fear what I have to eat tomorrow because the taxpayer is like you, pays for food stamps. Thank you. Hey, man, whatever it takes. I don't ever worry about what anybody else is doing. That's one thing that listen, that's if you want to know one thing about me, that's the main thing about me. I don't give a fuck what anybody else is doing, what, you know, none of that stuff. If they're succeeding, failing, none of that shit, I'm all worried about myself. I think that's one of the problems with this goddamn country. Everybody's worried about what another motherfucker is doing. Where can I get one cheaper? I don't know. If you ever see me around, I think I got an extra one back here. If you happen to see me, ask for it. That'll be free. Now, I'm in Corbin, Kentucky. I'm at the Love's because I had to take a shower. When I say I had to take a shower, I had to take a shower. Normally I'd be across the street at this Go Time truck stop. That's right across from the Pilot. But that Go Time, it's a small mom and pop place, but they got like a Moe's Mexican grill in there. Super quiet. I only think they got like 10 spots or something like that. That's where I'd normally be, but I just didn't want to park, take a shower, then go drive across the street, you know, and hope they had some spots. But that's normally where I would be. And my credit cards are compromised. So I had to order new credit cards, so I can't even use my credit cards now. So I'm living off the $350 I got on my Com Data card that I put $25 in a week. So I'm living off of that. I'm living off of $200 in points at TA Petro. $15 at Love's and $16 at Pilot. So that's got to make it, that's got to last me. And I think what compromised my card was fucking Lyft, because they compromised a card that I don't ever use. The only time I use that credit card is just to put a little bit of shit on my credit card every now and then, because if you don't use it, sometimes they'll take it away. So I just throw shit on there every now and then. And the only time I used it was on Lyft within the last year. So I might have to be done using Lyft. Bobby Brown Driveline did not turn in his trucks and become a company driver. He has one truck that's already paid. I mean, he turned in a couple trucks, but he has one truck that's paid off and another one that's about to be paid off. So that would be pure foolery for him to do that. I know an Uber driver too, a former Uber driver. I almost wanted to donate to that fucking shit, man, because it's hard watching her go through that. Because she already is about to lose her apartment, and then when they cut off, I mean, and then the car made it worse, so then it was no income, and then no, like, once they get rid of the phone, I mean, that's an uphill battle. I mean, that's like horrible. All right, Gabe Horn, happy birthday. Yeah, Bobby Brown, basically he was saying that he was losing money on his shit and turning his truck. I don't care if the shit's profitable. That shit that is not in my business plan whatsoever. That was the dumbest shit I ever did in my life. Was, listen, I gotta count on myself. You know what I'm saying? I can't be thinking about or worried about what other people are doing and what. I can't do it. I can't. Now, sometimes you don't know what people are thinking or where they're coming from. I had a motherfucker at a receiver son me. This dude's probably younger than me by 10 years, calling me son. Kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But back to my title. It's not always going to be easy. I know another guy whose transmission went out. You know, he's dealing with some hard times, and it's those hard times that once you get through that shit, that's what makes you. You know what I'm saying? That's what, like, really turns you into a beast and gets your mindset right. I've always said since the beginning of my videos, go back 6-7 years to when I first started these videos, and I always said the best time to get in the market is in a bad market. Why? Because once you're done dealing with a bad market, when the market turns around, everything is gravy. And I think a lot of people want it too fucking easy. And if I look at everything that I've done, every growth spurt I've had in life has been because of some failure or some adversity or something along those lines. It wasn't the good times, because the good times don't force you to change. They don't force you to become better. And everybody's out here whining, and I'm calling it whining. You got grown ass men out here whining. Now, I can understand if you don't like it, but whining? No. grown ass men out here whining about the market and things not going right and all this kind of stuff. You know what? Some animals reform, or some animals adapt, some reform. If you're a player, you don't reform. You rise to the occasion, improve your game, thus adapt. It's called survival of the fittest. Need more money? Just train. Hey, if I actually needed more money, I would train. I was making so much fucking money. Listen, if I was younger, I would, and I needed some money, I would train. I'm just telling you, like that. It wasn't the training money that was back in like 2021 and all that, but it was still fucking good money. So I think Prime is wrong asking people to train that don't have the experience to train. And then I was just thinking about this today. I wasn't talking about it. I got this other fucking message. This is a OTIF load. Make sure you don't remember to drop it off an hour early or, whatever. And I'm just like, how the fuck are you gonna, like, one thing I learned about training and managing people is they will adapt to the lowest, they'll adapt to the lowest expectations you have. So if you're going to treat us like a training company, and we are a training company, but if you're going to treat us like that, then you have to expect people to do dumb shit. Anyway, too many people training with not enough experience, and one thing I'll say about trucking, you don't have, so Tom would be a good one, Midlife Trucker Tom Bell, or myself, or Tim Travels, you see him in there. We cut our teeth in other industries and shit like that. So we didn't get to training people and think like, okay, my job as a trainer is to berate and, make the people that we're training look stupider, dumber than they are, whatever. I mean, it was never like a ego type thing. And I think in trucking, unfortunately, if we just keep it real, a lot of people that get into trucking just don't come out of a pedigree typically. And now there would be exceptions. A lot of times military people would be a little bit different if they were in a while or, whatever. But I think a lot of times you have people that just came off the block and now they have somebody that has to listen to them and they take advantage of that. I can't explain it any better than that. All right. GAD Sean, it's the constant complaining grown-ass men to get on YouTube and complain. I can't do it. And I can't do it just because I can't do it. I would feel so fucking dumb going to my wife, and there's a difference because we were in positions where things weren't bad. It's like, you know what? Here's the situation. We got to grind our way out of it. You need to cut back on this, or we need to cut back on whatever it is. That's one thing. But I can't even picture myself going to my wife, man, the foreigners are taking all my freight and freight rates are low. Man, listen. As a man, let me put myself in my wife's position. If I'm my wife, I ain't looking for what I consider, because I'm old school like that, I'm not wanting the head of the household to be up here coming up with fucking excuses on why he's fucking failing. That shit, I can't even picture myself doing that shit. And it actually makes me, it makes me mad, not at the people that do it, but it makes me mad even thinking about having to do that shit. Because I'm not about the fucking excuses and why shit is and the market being bad and the market being good. And, if it's everybody could do shit in a good fucking market, who the fuck makes you any different? You know what I mean? Like, in a good market, everybody should do good. In a bad market, you know what? You clear out the suckers in a bad market. You know, and sometimes that might have to be you. It was me in some occasions before. Oh, anyway. Oh, shit. You got me fired up on that shit. As a trainer, I stay in the bunk, right? Hey, as long as they get trained, do what you gotta do. Shit. Does Prime train drivers to sacrifice their brakes going down a mountain like that one Prime driver said in his video he did? That was a dumbass Prime driver, and another fucking YouTuber out there talking about some fucking shit he shouldn't have been talking about. Listen, and then he fucking does that shit. If we're talking about the same one, he fucking fucked up a truck that he was driving for, or for somebody that owned a truck at Prime. If we're talking about the same guy, so he fucked around, didn't get the truck fixed when he should have, then wore out. Who knows how much those brakes cost once he was. And even if you did make that mistake and cost that guy that money and all that shit, why do people feel comfortable putting stupid shit on YouTube? I don't get it. Dude got a half-cooked potato head. All right, there you go. Shit. One thing that you will probably learn about me is I am very fucking confident as far as shit like that goes. I'm not worried about what anybody's saying along those lines. I mean, that's one thing I will say. There are people on YouTube putting out far too much information. Like the guy at Prime that was driving on I-70 in winter. I don't even want to talk about that one. Yeah. Man of Men 316. Yeah. Brand new Peterbilt. Yeah. Guy was driving somebody's brand new Peterbilt and burns up the brakes. There are a lot of people do it because they're just clowns. I mean, psychopathic narcissist. Man, if I was a narcissist, the last thing I would want is somebody, or the last thing I would want would be to make me look absolutely fucking stupid on a video. I mean, there's another guy a while back. He had a channel that was growing like hell. I forget the name of his channel, but he was doing dumb shit. And he was getting subscribers because every video he was doing stupid shit. Driving with rocks stuck between his dual tires and like same thing. Doing dumb shit. And it's all written off, or it's all written off because it's content or it's my journey or whatever it is. Man, listen. If you're out here long enough, you're gonna do some wild shit. Your hope, or my hope, would be if I'm out here engaged in some wild shit that, well, I'm not gonna post it, but hopefully somebody done got a camera on me. You know what I'm saying? The Bay, what's up? Or the Bay, however you want to pronounce that. Alright, so I'm just going to make this a little bit short, man. I'm about to get off here. Come back and relax. Bobby Reach. That's who that motherfucker was. Man, oh, you want to talk about somebody posting the most stupid shit. That was his name. I don't know if his videos are still up there or not. But if you want to see some fuckery, go type in that. Bobby Reach Schneider. he was out there like he was being a menace to society out on the fucking road. Midlife trucker, I look at every illegally parked truck for a no hippie logo. I don't think I've ever really parked outside of an actual like line. I have never bonus parked or whatever you want to call it. I've never parked outside of a line at a truck stop ever. I did for a minute. I think I might have been in Louisiana or East Texas at a road ranger, and I stopped next to a scale. I was going to park there, and somebody pulled out, and I pulled in. So I don't think I've actually ever parked outside of a line. G80 Sean, man, basically lease drivers get paid whatever the profit is off of the loads they run, and then pay their students. So my student, my old trainer student, was making anywhere between $950 and $1,200, something like that. And it was easy. I mean, it was listen. All my students, I kind of missed all of them. And I miss my last one now. Especially my last. Well, actually, all of them. Shit, now that I'm thinking about it. You know, I'd be like, hey, I'm about to come out here and clean out this trailer. Don't worry about it, boss man. I got you. All right, shoot. Boom. So there was like some benefits that came from that. Wasn't having to deal with any of that shit. Load locks, no. That was good shit. All right. Checking for padlocks. You know? I think you should do whatever Prime's policy is, but I'm never going to be telling on nobody. JD Sean, I said, oh boy, went MIA, delete his channel. All right. Set up a camera and took an hour to back into a dock, but that's fine to do, but don't record it and post it. Thinking about that, hey man, he was talking about he's on this dedicated route and he could only do so many loads in a day, and then complaining that he didn't have the time to run this other load. Meanwhile, he's out here setting up cameras, doing all this stuff, taking way too much time at a shipper. He probably would have taken too much time to begin with, but setting up the camera and all that didn't make things any faster. And it's my content. Man, shut the fuck up. Man, I want to slap some of these motherfuckers. That's some Gen Z bullshit right there. But my thing is, if you want to do all that, get your craft down first. This motherfucker's posting videos like, I don't know how guys pull out of here and make this right here. If you weren't spending so much time fucking making your own videos, you could sit your ass in a truck stop and look at what people do and learn how people do it. But you're too worried about your content. I cannot stand that word. My content. All he had to do was leave the dock, make a left turn, loop around, and then he's straight out. But he's trying to make a right-hand turn, and his trailer's not clearing. He was a bozo. He should have. And I'm not saying that everybody should learn that, but I'm just saying he never took the time to learn it because he's taking the time to think that people act. I don't know. I don't even want to light up on him. Authentically chasing ends. What's up? Saw Prime today, no lock. It was a flatbed, but hey, there you go. Telling anybody, yo. Anyway, I'm about to get off here. Try to get some of this sleep. I will be at the terminal hopefully pretty soon. Get these tires done, get this DOT inspection, and that's about it. But I do appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Comment, subscribe. I'm out.